Welcome to another JT Smelik Podcast. On today's episode, we discuss the NBA playoffs, 76ers, and Pistons. And I have to apologize to a certain player in professional golf. That's coming up next here on the JT Smelik Podcast. What is going on, everyone? Welcome back to another JT Smelik Podcast. I'm happy to be hanging out with you guys today. And what a weekend it has been. We had Game of Thrones, the NBA playoffs, and Tiger Woods, the man himself, captures the Masters. 11 years. What do I start with? It's very easy. Let's dive right into it. Trust the process. Tank it till you make it. I'm the most unstoppable player in the league. All the media attention, all the slogans, all the excitement, all the nicknames, but it's all the same in the end of the day. 6 minutes left in the fourth. Nets, 76ers. Amir Johnson pulls out his phone. Camera pans to him. Amir Johnson may not have been playing that night, but he pulls out his phone. Him and Embiid look at it. Embiid smiles at the phone. After the game, Joel Embiid comes out and he says Johnson's daughter was sick and he was checking on her. Now, normally I don't care about stuff like this. I wouldn't make that big of a deal about it. But during a game where you are getting blasted by a team that you probably should have been able to sweep, all of your starters go MIA except Jimmy Butler. Simmons was a no-show, shocker there, and it seemed like basketball wasn't even on their minds. Trust the process, though. Tank it till you make it. Embiid claims to be the most unstoppable player in the league. Reality check for you, Embiid. Ever since those comments, even during that time, since the All-Star break, you had missed nearly half the games. What was it, 7 of 18? That's unacceptable. You're injured again. You were a 7-minute before tip-off game time decision. You're hurt again. At the end of the day, Simmons MIA. Embiid hurt again. Where have we seen this before? Nothing has changed. Regardless of what happens in this series, the 76ers can still pull it off. I don't have to take this team seriously. They're not good. I'm sick of hearing about them. I'm sick of all the hype. You're not even close to Milwaukee. You're not even close to Golden State or Houston. I don't even think you could beat the Raptors in a best of 7. You guys just don't have what it takes. You guys are a fun little regular season team, but guess what? I'm about to get to this with the Pistons. It's big boy TV. The playoffs are where the men play. Embiid, you've won one playoff series. You've been hurt most of your career, and you're hurt once more. Hopefully, we'll be seeing you in round 2. Many people are going to bash me because I was critical on Johnson, pulling out his phone, checking on his daughter. Do you think there's not a reason that rule's been put in place? Oh, but this is an extreme scenario. You do understand these are millionaires, and you can easily give your phone to a personal, you can call him a phone carrier. And his job is to make sure if you get an emergency text, it will immediately go to you. He will sprint out there and he'll let you know something is happening. It'll take 10 seconds. Don't make excuses. There's cheating that goes on in all sports. And do you think being able to use your phone isn't going to be one of them? Don't lie to yourself and try to act like it was a noble cause. Doesn't matter. You're out to do a job. Terminally ill or not. Give it to someone. 10 seconds. And guess what? It's not the most important thing in the world, by the way. Because if it was, you'd be staring at your phone the entire time. So just because you pull out your phone for a few seconds, I didn't like it. I didn't like it at all. I think it shows how big of a clown this organization is and always acts. They have no idea what they're doing right now. They are trying to make this team work when Embiid is a completely MIA player in terms of staying healthy. And Simmons has a quality missing that I look for in leaders and winners. And it's called, are you a dog? Or are you just a guy, a J-O-G? Or J-A-G, a jag? And no, Ben Simmons has zero dog about him. He has to be one of the most overrated players in the NBA. Yeah, he can get the assists. He's got good field vision. He can shoot a nice mid-range too. The guys, by the way, I've even talked about he can't shoot a three-pointer. My point guard going to handle the ball at the end of the game and can't pull up from three. And by the way, it's not like he can't hit a three. He won't even attempt to shoot a three. That's embarrassing. I'm sick of Embiid. I'm sick of Ben Simmons. And I'm sick of the Detroit Pistons. The biggest joke in the entire playoffs. We're going to just keep looking over them, aren't we? Pistons fans, here we go. They know how to stop Giannis because they have Thon Maker. He knows exactly how Giannis works, where his flaws are. What have the Bucks proved? We rested Blake to try to trick the Bucks into resting Giannis. We don't play well on national television. Blake Griffin's hurt now. Again. Like every year. That was what you knew when you traded for him. These are all things, all excuses that I'm forced to listen to from Pistons fans. Newsflash for you. No one can stop Giannis. Not some bench player. Not Thon Maker. What have the Bucks proved? What have the Pistons proved? Scraping to get the AC. Don't you dare bash the Bucks acting like you're somehow superior in what you've accomplished. They have an MVP. You have a terrible organization. We rested Blake Griffin to try to trick the Bucks into... Shut up! You did not do that. And he's going to miss the entire series most likely. We don't play well on national television. You don't play well on national television because you're given quality opponents. Sorry you can't beat up on the Knicks for national television. What, do you think they're going to let you play the Knicks? Who the hell wants to watch the Detroit Pistons and the New York Knicks on national television? Newsflash, your franchise is worthless. Andre Drummond is worthless. You can act like he's a great rebounder all you want. I don't care. He is not a winner. He cannot go up and get me if I give him the ball against a quality team, most times he's not going to do much. That's your little news flash for you. Reggie Jackson isn't a good point guard. He's garbage. He can score some points. Whoop-de-doo. That's not what your point guard's meant to only do. It's the biggest knock on Kyrie Irving. And then I have to hear Pistons fans try to tell me our offense isn't an issue. You rank 21st in offensive efficiency, but it's only by a couple of points. Those points are what separate losers and winners. Luke Kennard, that was his first playoff game. He carried ya. Andre Drummond got embarrassed pushing on Giannis. Got thrown out of the game. Finished with 12 points, 4 of 9 in 26 minutes, and 12 rebounds. You do understand this was the game for him. Step up, be the man. Go out there and make things happen. That's not what happened for you. Wayne Ellington, MIA. Pistons have no shooters. Thon Maker, 0-6 from downtown. Reggie Jackson, 0-1 from downtown. Wayne Ellington, 1-4. Bruce Brown, 0-1. What do you want me to say? Luke Kennard's your best three-point shooter and you have him coming off the bench. Wayne Ellington, he's a nice every few nights type of shooter. Reggie Jackson, a nice every few nights type of shooter. Thon Maker has a long way to go if he's ever going to be anything. And don't sit there and try to tell me that this Pistons team is even good. You look at the paper. What is good about this team? I want you to be dead honest with me. Thon Maker? No. Andre Drummond? Thanks, I'll pay you that much money to get that great stat line. Oh, really accomplishing 12-12. I'm sorry, I don't care about that. Get me some shooters and people that can space the floor. Reggie Jackson, 6-14. I guess if you want to say he played a decent game, 5 assists, great. 121-86, not getting the job done. Wayne Ellington, 2-10, 5 points. That's garbage. Bruce Brown, I'm tired of hearing excuses. Ish Smith, 2-6. He's a fine player. He's a fine bench player. He ain't no starter. You don't have a point guard. Langston Galloway. Langston Galloway is garbage. He's not good. He's inconsistent. He can only shoot threes, and he can't even shoot them that well. Glenn Robinson. Glenn Robinson is garbage. He's 1-5. 20 minutes. That's a playoff game. I said this about the Sixers. I'm going to say it again here for you. This is where the big boys come to play. This is where men come to play. The regular season is for the kids. Some interesting stories. Not here. That's unacceptable. 86 points to 121. You were never in that game. You should be embarrassed. You walked out on that floor. And even though I called for a 4-game sweep, I still expected to see a bigger effort. The broadcasters didn't know what to say post-game. Can they play better? They barely had an answer. They gave you that. Sure, they can hit open shots. But guess what? That would mean they're better players than what they are. Because that team can't hit open shots consistently. Moving on to the final team, I want to talk about Oklahoma City. The Thunder. My least favorite team in the Basketball Association. Paul George. Playoff P. The hype is real, baby. 8-24. Yikes. That's with him going 6-6 at the line. Russell Westbrook, one of my least favorite players in basketball. Actually played pretty good. I didn't have much to bash him on. 8-17. The three-point shooting I don't like. 0-4 from downtown, but you got to do what you got to do. 10 rebounds, 10 assists, 24 points. I think he played pretty well. I don't have an issue with him. At least not game one. Paul George, I get that you're hurt, and it's the same thing as Blake Griffin. If you're going to take the shots and you're not going to make them, don't take them. I don't care. I get that you're out there. Be a decoy. Drive. Dish it out. Do something. Don't just be a spot-up shooter, even though that's mostly what you're good at. Or don't play. A report comes out saying like 2 days ago you couldn't lift your arm above your head. You shouldn't be playing. That team would be better without you on the floor. I'm being dead serious right now. I'm sick of hearing about playoff P because I've seen maybe 2 to 3 good games. I've seen a lot of duds and I've seen a lot of MIA games. I would love to see Portland knock off OKC. I'd love to see the Bucks sweep the Pistons. And I'd love to see the Nets knock off those annoying 76ers. Turning it to the final thing of the podcast, Tiger Woods captures the Masters, 5th one. What a ride it has been, a shaky 11 years for him. The ultimate comeback story. If you watch the final 2 putts, he gets near on the first. And that second one was just the sweetest moment ever. He knew it the moment he was there. Stepped to it. Iconic fist thrust. Screams to the air, pounds his chest. That's a winner. And as someone who's bashed Tiger himself, I loved it. I loved that entire moment. Add him to the list with Verlander of two of the only players I've ever said in a sport is completely washed up. And for them to come back like that has to be one of the most inspiring things I've ever seen. Good for them. Tiger, I was wrong. I was completely wrong. You're a winner. You had the guts to get back in there when everyone said it was over for you. Good on you. Room for you to win another. That's all for the JT Smelik Podcast. Thank you for tuning in. We'll see you guys next week. Same time, same place. Keep it locked here. NBA playoffs. You're listening to the JT Smelik Podcast.